Palm reading of a person whose age is 39 years old. We are reading his hand. This person would be completing his 39th year very soon. One by one, we would try to take a look at important lines on his palms. The first line that we would be talking about is this money line. In the initial start of his life, the line was a little bit unclear, then it stabilizes and it approaches the headline and it ends on the headline. This is the line of head. So the intersection of the head and the money line is age 35. So when there's an end on the line of money at the age of 35, two or three problems can be expected. Although he has crossed that particular age, but yet we are trying to tell what may have happened in the past. So problems on the money line at the age of 35 could mean job loss, work loss, business loss. This is the first thing. Second thing could be the main earning member of the family, their health or wealth goes down. More responsibility falls onto this particular person's head. Even his head can go down. There are some indications. And the third thing could be one's personal life can also get disturbed with the break in the line of money. So this intersection that I've just mentioned is age 35. So before the age of 35, it is a little bit unclear out here. From the age of 33 till the age of 35, it is a little bit unclear out here. And in the initial start, also the line is broken up into pieces, small pieces. So there could have been few problems at the start. So breaks are considered to be a little bit negative signs. The second aspect is that when we look at the lifeline, this is the lifeline. And on the lifeline, we look at the life energies. Are there going to be some problems on the life as such or not? So you'd find somewhere out here. This is the point I'm referring to. I'm just going to zoom in so that you can see it much more clearly. You would notice island-like formation. Now, island-like formations are not considered to be good. This is basically the island-like formations out here, 2 or 3. So these islands basically mean elongated period of health-related issues that may have happened in the past, somewhere very close by. So this is what, when there's a break in the money line, I presume it may also have an effect on the lifeline as well, the health part as well. And this particular portion the person might have already been crossed or might be crossing right now. There are small horizontal lines which are barely visible. They are of little strength. These are horizontal lines. Horizontal lines on the palm are considered to be a little bit negative, specifically originating on the Mount of Mars negative. Mars negative is the area of anger, aggression, and fire. Now, these lines, because they are very dim and unclear, so the effect and impact that the person may experience is going to be very limited, and it may not be too much negative. So we can say easily that these could be only slight problems which the person basically is able to overcome easily. So this is what it represents. We have another image that is the side profile image, where we find the attachment lines. Now, attachment lines, people refer them as the marriage line also, and some people refer them as purely attachment line. And attachment, I would say, can convert into a marriage or may not convert into a marriage. It's just an attachment. And the first line, which is nearer to the heart, and this is the heart line, this particular line is in the earlier portion, and this one towards the later portion is the later portion of one's life. Now, how to calculate out here is a little bit difficult, because from different countries we have to look at the social strata, like how things happen in that particular country. So that's how we have to vary the age on the line. So I'm just assuming from the Western country point of view, and by the book, if you just go by the book, this is the heartline. The earlier portion is 18, 19, 18, 19, then 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. This is how the book basically is mentioned. So this particular later portion of one's life, I would say, comes right now or maybe a little bit later as well. So this particular line that we are referring to, although it is not a perfect line, the line starts something like this. There's a branch, then another one starts, it's something like this, and there's a downward branch out here. Upward branches are still good. Upward branches means that the partner brings upliftment, and the downward branch could mean there could be some problems that the person may face in the relationship. So this is how basically we come to know about this. Now, two lines do not necessarily mean two marriages. It could be just purely two attachments in one life. They may convert into marriage, they may not convert into marriage. So this is just a possibility. We can't say with certainty that if you have got four lines, you would have four marriages. So that's not how basically it works. Now, as far as where I had mentioned that there's island, I'm not very certain if there's island or not, but it appears to be an island. You would notice also there are one or two lines coming something like this. This area is the area of Mars negative. It is just a name. Mars negative is the area of anger, aggression, and fire. So any line originating on the mount of Mars negative, so this is the area Mars negative. So any line originating out here and joining the lifeline, it means fire is entering your life. And fire entering the life basically is not considered to be good. It is something a little bit negative. It basically depicts that some issues may come as far as health goes. It may have to do with the stomach or something related to that. Anything, it can be anything, because fire is maximum in the stomach, and fire entering the life basically means something related to that. Although apart from the lifeline, there could be a few good lines, something like the supporting lifeline, which basically supports that particular person to come out of the problem. So it's not that just one problem line and you say everything is bad. There could be a few other lines in the hand which may bring out that particular person very, very easily. We also have another image, and this image you can see the islands appear to be much, much clearer. So I won't repeat the same thing which I have repeated. Now what happens is that we have to look at the other lines as well, and this is the line of head. Now the headline is a very, very long headline in comparison to the heart line. This is your heart line. When the headline is long, it makes a person very headstrong and very, very practical. Practicality we see if the headline is kind of straightness in the it's kind of a straight headline. So headline straight ending on the area of Mars positive area brings more practicality, coolness and calmness in one's mind. And this is how basically we say. If the headline was leaning downwards, we would say too much of imagination. If it was too much upwards, it would have to do more with the writing part and the skill part. The straight line brings much more practicality. A strong headline. This is a strong headline specifically after the age of 35. What happens is when the headline is strong, it brings the person out of problems. And it brings much more mental clarity. Now, headline should not be seen as the line of intelligence. Some people think that the headline is your intelligence line. Actually, the area of intelligence is the area of Mount of Mercury. The headline has got more to do with the mental strength, mental weakness, mental inclination. This is what we can see on the headline, not your intelligence part. So having a very, very clear cut, very well defined, without being cut or something like that, specifically after the age of 35, we can say with certainty that the person would be having good amount of mental strength, and whatever big problems, big or small problems that may come up in their life, that person would be able to come out of it very, very easily. So this is a good aspect. Now if we take a look at the heart line, now the heart line, this is the line of heart, and the heart line is kind of ending under the Mount of Saturn. Now, the headline can be long also and can be short also. So this headline we would categorize as to be the shorter heart line. Shorter heart line in present times is considered to be good because too much long would mean too much of emotions, too much of sensitivity and idealism, and not targeting towards money. And that's the reason why the person doesn't get money. But in this case, the heart line ends on the Mount of Saturn, and Saturn basically depicts few things, that is money, possessions, wealth, wisdom, responsibility. The person values money, the person respects money, the person is kind of very responsible person, responsible towards himself sometimes, and responsible towards his family or the community or to the goals that the person has in his life. So in that way, it is a beautiful sign to have. Such people are able to accumulate money because Saturn is all to do with accumulation of money. It is to do with the responsibility part. It is to do with the wisdom part and the money management part. So this indication is considered to be good. Now, towards the end, you would notice that the heart line is curving, having a curvature out here towards the end. The heart line could have been very straight as well. This is a straight heart line just ending out here, but out here there is a curvature. Curvature in the heart line makes a person very passionate, and display of emotions is there, and the person can't keep their emotions in check. Saturn is also got to do with more with the physical part, the outer appearance part, the physical love part, the touching part, the physical aspect of love is more compared to if the heart line was long. It would have been more of an emotional love without the touch and in the purity part. Now, having the heart line end under the Mount of Saturn brings desire for money, and the outer appearances, desire for outer appearance of your partner should be good. All these things are of very, very high priority. So this is what the person seeks, and that this is what the person would get ultimately. You'd also notice that I mentioned that the money line was ending out here, but a new line basically starts somewhere at the age of 35. That basically continues till the age of 53. The intersection of the heart and the money line is age 53, and it basically continues a little bit further as well, and it ends somewhere close to the age of, let's say, 56 or so. Another one restarts out here. It may have restarted somewhere at a little bit early age, but more clarity comes somewhere at the age of 53, and that basically targets towards the Mount of Saturn. So this line is also good, and this particular line is also good. In the initial part, from the age of 35 to the for 2 or 3 more years, the line is not so very, very clear, but as it progresses, it gains in strength, and basically it basically is kind of a well-formed line. So this is what I can say regarding the money line. Now, money line, the area of a Saturn should have less lines, so there are less lines out here. Saturn area, you would notice the skin pattern out here. It is a little bit offset. It is kind of more moving a little bit more towards the sun mount. The qualities of Saturn basically are influenced by the sun mount. Sun planet has got more to do with the creativity part, art part, music part. So this is what basically it represents. The sun, like Saturn, if it was purely at the center out here, the Saturn would get more qualities, like more concentrated qualities, but because it has shifted a little bit this particular direction, so it gets influenced by the sun mount. This is the sun mount. So this is what I can come to know about your the displacement of the Saturn mount to a little bit extent. The triradii, we call it the triradii. This can be seen under the Saturn finger, the Sun, the Jupiter finger, the Mercury finger, but you don't find it you kind of find it absent under the finger of sun. So it's a little bit rare kind of occurrence. And although books of palmistry don't mention this kind of explanation to your hands. Now, Mercury area is the area for intelligence. Having strong lines, this kind of a line is good, and perpendicular lines over the amount of Mercury are considered to be good indications. They are not very, very deep and clear lines, but yet they are there. And having deep and clear lines basically mean that the person is sharpening their skills to a very high degree. Now, skills can be of any kind. It need not be only writing skills. It can be any kind of skills that the person can have. One line means one skill, multiple lines means multiple set of skills that the person may have. Specifically, we find two lines, so we can say with certainty the two kind of skills that the person may have in his life. We do have the hand image out here of the left hand as well, and on the left hand what I basically notice is that regarding the line of sun, the carrier line, this is what it is. It is broken up in the earlier portion. It is not so very, very clear. This kind of a line formation is there. So when the line of sun is not very clear, sun line is also known as the luck line. Sun line is also known as the carrier line. So when the line is not very clear, we can say that there could be some doubts and self-doubt, and the path that the person is traveling on, the person may lack in clarity in the work that basically are doing. Although towards the end, also you'll notice these small lines. These are very, very unclear kind of lines. Although it's not necessary to have sunline, it's not a necessity that only when you have a sunline, only then your career is going to be good. There can be other indications as well that may indicate to good aspects on your life. As far as the money line goes, this is on the left hand. Left hand is considered to be the passive hand. Left hand is basically considered to be the not active hand. But it is said that we should look at the left hand for females and right hand for the males. But in my case, what I do is I refer both the hands to arrive at the conclusion. I may give lesser importance to the left hand, but yet we do give importance to the left hand as well to some extent. Maybe 20%, 30% or 40%. So this is how basically we say. In the initial part in the left hand, you would notice that the money line is kind of originating inside the lifeline. This is the lifeline it is originating on. Now, a money line that originates on the Mount of Venus, this is the Mount of Venus, brings in benefits from family or near and dear ones. This is one part. But as it progresses somewhere out here at an early age, another line kind of joins into the main line. This is the line I'm referring to. So this is the earlier portion, probably the age 25, 26. Then basically few lines are kind of originating out here. They are breaking, they are moving out here. So lines that are kind of approaching the money line, those are good. Lines that basically move ahead and cross the money line are not so good, because the benefit that the person may have got, the person may not get. So this particular point is approximately age 29 or so. Then another line kind of joins the main money line at this particular point, and this point is going to be roughly 33 years old. So the person could expect few good things at that particular time. Then a problem line originates on the Mount of Mars negative and kind of touches the head and the money line. This is the head and this is the money line. So problems can be expected at the age of 35. There may have been few problems at the age of 35. There also appears to be an island-like formation on the line of money, the line of fate, whatever, or the Saturn line, whatever you may call it. So the problem starts somewhere close to the age of 34 and it remains with that particular person somewhere to this particular point. So on the money line, the age out here is age 44. So this point is roughly going to be approximately 37, 38. That's the maximum. The island, the effect of the island can be seen. Islands are considered to be negative, so they may bring out some amount of financial issues or problems that the person may face. Beyond this particular portion, so the line becomes very deep and clear. Simple lines are considered to be better than complicated lines, and they bring much more success to such a person. On the line of life, this is the lifeline. Any line kind of joining out here is a tributary joining the main river, so this is benefits. This line is also benefit, this line is also benefit. These two lines come at the later stage of your life, approximately 46 47 to the age of 50, and then there are few lines that kind of lean outwards. Leaning outward lines are considered to be a little bit negative, because it basically means health loss or wealth loss, and that is around the age of 60 65. That's very late, so you don't need to worry anything as such regarding those aspects at that particular portion of your life. And this is another hand image that I had, and it's not very clear. There may be an island out here as well. Island on the heart line means elongated period of emotional stress and anxiety. Although as such the quality of the heart line is reasonably good, it does have one or two branches over it. Branches over the heart line are not so good. It means some amount of attachment bring in expectations. Expectations are not fulfilled. That's the reason why disappointment may creep in. But because there are no breaks on the heart line, because there are no very strong islands on the heart line, we can say with certainty that things are going to be normal, and the person would be able to control any problem as such that may come in their life, because the headline is a very solid headline, and headline brings mental strength. The mind overpowers the heart always. The person could be passionate, the person could be temperamental because of the curvature in the heart line, but the person can't claim that the person is an emotional person. The person is more realistic and grounded. It's just that the expression of emotions is more there, compared to if the heart line was just straight, the person wouldn't express their emotions. But there's a curvature out here. That's a reason why the person expresses their emotions more. I would end the video out here. As such, I would say that the hand is balanced. So balanced decisions are going to be there. No, I don't foresee any big problem as such that the person wouldn't be able to handle. And thanks for watching this video. Bye and take care.